All right, welcome back into the mechanic workshop. Handyman. We're going to be working on this bad boy, I think, next. This is a Mantis Tiller. I've heard a lot about them. I haven't really worked on them a whole lot. Customer stated that they've taken it to somebody and they have cleaned, adjusted the carburetor, and it still doesn't perform the way they want it. And basically, they want me to replace the carburetor. They're tired of fooling with it. So, first thing I'm going to do is clean her up, and we'll go ahead and get us a carburetor and swap it out, and we'll check and see how she runs at that point. If that's what they want, that's what they get, a new carburetor. So let me go clean this thing up. It is pretty nasty. It's greasy, nasty, so you know I'm going to get it cleaned up. We'll go out here and see what we can do. I got my super clean, get that grimy grease off of there, and we'll go for it. So let's go clean her up. Okay, we've got this thing pretty well cleaned up, ready to at least take a look at her now. We don't get all greasy with it. Let's go ahead and pop off our air filter here. These things are supposed to be good little runners. We're going to find out. They got mostly cleaned up. There's still some nasty in there. We'll have to get to that and clean it up a little better. But it's so nasty I didn't even want to touch it. Ooh, that filter is definitely, throw that away. I think our carburetor kit comes with one of those. Our choke and everything works. This is still, like I say, all this was buried up under here, so we'll have to get it and clean it up a little bit better, but you had to start somewhere just to get the grime off of it. So we'll go ahead. I've got the new carburetor, and the new carburetor is supposed to be, let's see here what we've got in the box. We've got a couple filters, that's good. We've got the carburetor. We'll do a quick match up, make sure it looks about right, and I think if you can see that, it looks like it's pretty close, sitting in there. Yeah, I think so. We should be good, so we ought to be able to pop that off of there. I'm also, before I get too going on this, I'm going to make sure that I drain the gas out of this also. I don't know how old that gas is, but I want to get rid of all the old remnants of that also. So we'll go ahead and pour that out. And we'll check, verify that, we'll make sure that it didn't have any water in the gas to start out. Okay. And we'll definitely check and make sure there's no trash down in the bottom of it, which looks like there is. So we'll dump and clean that out a little bit better here in a minute. I don't know what that would take to possibly just pull that tank loose. We might have to. Let's see what we have to do with it. We might just slosh it around and dump the rest of it out here. Looks like that probably got most of it out of there. That looks pretty clean in there now. Okay. We'll pull that out and check the filter. We'll probably go ahead and replace that. Seems how we're in here at it. Just a minute to grab a hold of it. Make sure that line is flexible. And it appears to be, and that filter appears to be extremely old. I wonder if they gave us a new one in the box. What all did they come with? Oh, look at that. We've got us a filter here. We can go ahead and do that. I've actually got all new fuel lines. Let's see if we want to replace all of those. We might, just because we can. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start. 2 screws should pull that carburetor loose. Okay, we'll put that off to the side to be cleaned up. And we also, for the carburetor, this linkage, I don't know if we can catch all this. Maybe I'll zoom you in a little bit better. Let's see if this will help a little bit. I don't know. We try to get you the best shots we can without being able to see what I'm doing here myself as I work on it, being I'm running a camera. People don't realize how difficult, that's probably almost the harder part of this job, is trying to get the camera set up to where you can actually see what I'm doing without my fingers, my arm, and everything else in the way. That just simply piles up, that falls off, and then from there, that just pops off of that, and it gets us out here. Like I say, I'm almost tempted to say, we'll go ahead, let's see if this thing comes. Yes, it does. This comes with a whole new set of fuel lines, so there's really no reason for me not to replace that. And the only thing we got to watch out for when we put this new carburetor on is going to be to make sure that we port it up correctly. Of course, our vent's going to be there. That's going to go through the hole. And then if we're looking at this, the one line is the black line and the yellow line, and if we follow that through, this line that's attached to your filter is going to the bottom side of the carburetor. So the filter side, which is your black line, goes to the bottom. And that means the other one, yellow line, has got to go to the top. Here, oh, I just swung that around. I messed that all up here. It helps if you're holding this in the right orientation. There, yeah. Bottom goes here. Got to kind of pay attention to that. I knew something didn't look right about as soon as I started doing that. And the top has got to go here. Squeeze that on there. And this can come on through that gasket a little bit. That's pretty stiff. Might have to, if we have to, we can cut one of these loose. We'll pull it on through there and see what we can do with it. And we'll verify everything's still hooking. Let's see if we can squeeze this thing out of here. Just take that and pop it out. I should be able to. Sometimes they can be a little tricky. Usually it's easier to get them out than it is to get them in. So. And there we go. There we go. Got the old one out. Just like I say, verify. Your filter goes to your bottom. Your drain, which is going to circulate your fuel through the carburetor and back into the tank. And this is just the vent for your tank so it doesn't build up pressure. So we'll get rid of that. And we've got this one. And what we're going to do, so I'm going to take just a little bit of silicone. I'm going to lubricate this up just a little bit so that I can get it in that hole. Hopefully this will kind of help. We'll throw our filter in. And we'll set that there. And like I say, there's really no big secret on this one. You just kind of squeeze it and push it until she fits in the hole. You want it to be fairly tight. Okay. That's all that is. Now this will come around here. We're going to have to, I think I'm just going to, that's as long as the drain is fitting back into that, we can take this off and we'll cut that length that we need. It does not have to sit that far. Our other line is too long also. We can cut that or we can pull it down in. Let me see how she's sitting down in there. I think I might cut them both off. We're going to go ahead for now though. We'll hook our throttle cable back up. Now this one has, one side of this hole has a larger part than the other does. You want to make sure that your end of your cable goes into that larger portion there. Now the gasket on this is there a gasket on that? It is, yeah, and that looks in perfect condition. Sometimes I replace those and sometimes I don't. If they're tore up at all, kit does come with new ones, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to use them because sometimes it's not any better than the one you've got on there already. So I think we'll go ahead and just set that one right there. And we've got to cut this off to fit that. So we're going to cut this line down. was enough. Let's find out. I have to take a little bit more off of that, or get a hold of it and try to pull it through. I could try to do a little bit of that too. Ain't doing a whole lot here. The little fuel line with the other on it's going pretty good. This return line is not wanting to pull through too easy. Yeah, it's not doing it. So I really don't want to move down in there. I think I'm just gonna cut that off a little bit more and not worry about it. Yeah, we're just going to cut it right there. Thought we could get a little bit more than that, but it seems how we can't. We're not going to fight it. But you don't want your lines all kinked up when you go to put this back together. And make sure our vent line goes around up in behind here. I don't know exactly where they had that before, but stuffed up out the way someplace. There we go. That looks like it. Now, I'm going to clean up these other parts before we put it back together. Okay, I've got the covers cleaned up. New filter's been put on there. I've added a little bit of gas to her. We'll prime her up. We hit the bulb, and we should see, if you look in there, you should see it pumping on through. If you do that, you know your new carburetor's all filled. So we'll go ahead and close that on up. And we'll set this thing on the floor, whoops, and see if it actually will start now. And see what she does. Let's see here. We'll set you up right there for a minute. All right. Sit around the ground. Hold on a minute here. We got some company. Hold on. Okay, we got the gas on. Gonna go ahead and fire it up. We got throttle switch on and she's up and running. Let's go see if she'll kill some dirt. Like she'll till it. That's all we needed on that one. I think I did hit a line. I think that's an old phone line. Forgot about that being in there. We don't need it, so we're going to call this another completed project. Hope that helps. Got this thing there, nice little Mantis Tiller. So thanks again. We'll catch you on the next project, and we'll go on from here.